Alright lads, so today we are jumping back into the Nightmare Guild quest, this time showcasing a character that just recently returned. He's currently available right now in the 9th anniversary highlight summons. That of course being the strongest Quincy, at least according to himself. Today we're going to be looking at GREMMY once more. Guild quest recently just got updated. I want to see how far we can take him, especially when I do have the character Max-transcended. Now I probably will do in the video, I'm not actually entirely too sure. Do I want to remove his transcendence to see how he performs at 1-5? Likely I will. But at the same time, it's GREMMY. Like, he's like an absolutely amazing character. Most likely at 1-5 or 5-5, he is going to beat it, especially when we are using this team right here, which probably is going to be the best team that you can bring right now. And what I love most about it is that we are using Giselle. I've been looking forward to Giselle for a long time, and to finally get Giselle in game, not only be like the best lead for the range story per guild quest, actually have an EX attack, be a fun unit with a new mechanic, but also at the same time, making GREMMY the character that's supposed to make other Quincy's better. By using Giselle in the team, GREMMY is getting better, because similar to GREMMY, Giselle does have 30% more damage to enemies that are inflicted with an ailment if they are a technique character. And GREMMY gives the exact same buff to Quincy characters, but since it is two different affiliations, GREMMY gives it to Quincy's, Giselle gives it to technique characters, it does actually stack, allowing GREMMY to overall do more damage. And right now, when it comes to the ranged holo guild quests, there's actually a decent selection of mains that you can use here. I would say all top 5 characters here are viable characters, some more than others, and depending on that transcendence level would depend on how far you can potentially go, whether you can maybe even beat the 2 extra levels. And when it comes to the auto characters, I will be honest, we definitely do need a bit more support, because you'll notice here there's only 3 normal attack damage characters people are bringing. Jushiro, a character that at this point in time is kind of rare, is he not? Because mostly everyone recommend to never summon on novel banners, so unless you were pulling and playing when this character came out and was, you know, widely available on some of the bigger banners of the year, you likely won't have him. Shuei isn't a team booster, so like you don't really want to use him, but he is a good substitute nonetheless as a normal attack damage character. On the bit of the older side though, to be honest, maybe you don't even have him, and that basically just leaves us with one normal attack damage character that is available in more summons than not. That of course being Shunsui. He came out early this year, has become a bit more available, being in fillers for example, and I'm fortunate enough to have him. Pulled him while in Japan, by the way, when this character came out, so I guess I can say that about this unit, but he is going to be your normal attack damage character, mainly here for the SA2 team boost, but at the same time do consistent damage, right? Because what we do know now in this new guild quest update, the enemies have more HP but less defense, so normal attack damage characters like this Shinsui start to excel a tad bit more. And if we have a look at the bosses too, the 4th boss is a technique character, and do they show us what the extra waves are? I don't think they do. I haven't gotten to that just yet, but I am curious to see what the extra wave bosses are in terms of what attribute they do have. But either way, Shinsui will be doing more damage to the 4th boss, and then with that in mind, we've gone with a golden chappy holo bait with a mixture of normal attack damage and normal attack damage at full stamina and just full stamina damage in general. 1,700 additional attack. Now, what you could do with this character is go with recharge and full stamina, and that's definitely not a bad thing to do. But I think the plan here is, since we are using GREMMY, around the 20-second mark, I plan to use the EX attack. That way we can stack another boost. That way we can stack a boost around the time Shinsui boost is about to leave. And that way, by the time GREMMY's EX boost is about to wear off, Shinsui should activate his team boost again, so I don't need to give the character recharge and full stamina. As for GREMMY, again, right now we are showcasing the Max-transcendence. We will remove his transcendence later today with full stamina and also spiritual pressure. Build is a holo sticker, Quincy cape fastener, and fortification pill with recharge, strong attack damage at full stamina, and also full stamina damage. Like I said, Giselle is here just for the team boost, to make GREMMY do 30% more damage to enemies that are inflicted with an ailment, and of course to make GREMMY do more damage, we are using Mugetsu to get that additional 20% strong attack damage. This team is quite overkill, but let's see how fast we can possibly clear this guild quest. Now, one thing we did notice in this guild quest is that the small enemies also have quite a bit of HP, so that's where a character like GREMMY is going to shine a tad bit more, because he's basically going to be able to one-shot them, especially when you get duplicates of this character. Like, look at this, we already... Maybe would have one-shot there had we inflicted a status on him. But here we go. Let's back down. SA2. We do need to keep Giselle alive, by the way. Remember that. Going into Ichigo. Let's use the EX now. Maybe didn't even need to do that. But here we go. Unfortunately, one enemy was left alive. Maybe need to position myself a tad bit better. Let's use our 3 into the 1. Very first attempt. 41 seconds remaining. Super fast. And I'm going to assume even at 1-5, the difference might not even be that different, to be honest. Now, remember, these enemies do have poise, but you don't even notice it with GREMMY because we can actually inflict paralysis. So, actually, hold on. Did we even inflict it? No, Giselle inflicted Dominate. That's funny. That didn't work out in our favor, though. We took damage. But we're back up on full stamina. Let me use my Soul Bomb. Kind of forgot to do that. That does give us the weakened defense. And remember, our clear time on the extra levels don't matter. As long as we clear it, whether we have 10 seconds or 30 seconds remaining, does not affect our score. We want to make sure we clear as fast as possible in the first 5 waves to get the highest score possible. But with that, that was super easy. And we cleared, what, 40 seconds to spare. Let's try that again, though. This time, make sure to use my strong attacks correctly, hopefully. And also use my Soul Bomb. So let's use our SA1 there. There we go. That was actually really good. Going into Hachiken SA3. Might as well use our 1 there. I guess we'll use the EX. The EX actually does a bit of damage too. That was really good. I guess we Soul Bomb now in Ichigo. SA1 can Shinsui come through and do some normal attacks? Yes, he can. Almost 50 seconds, because we should clear in 2 strong attacks here. 47. That felt a lot better. I kind of had like a newfound appreciation for GREMMY's EX attack, I will be honest. And hold on, was our Vortex still going? Can we actually clear fast enough that the Vortex continues on? I see why Giselle, by the way, is also inflicting status summons consistently against Aizen, because he is a Soul Reaper. But it seems simple enough. Let's go here, SA2. But yeah, I do feel like in this new meta that we are going in for Guild Quest, status omens like Paralysis and Freeze are going to be really, really big because the small enemies that have a lot of HP. And Soul Bombs, I've noticed, especially ones that don't have like a high damage output on the Soul Bomb, you kind of just knock the enemies away. And it spreads them apart. So being able to freeze them or paralyze them means that they won't get spread apart. And hopefully the idea is that you can then follow up with an SA3 to take down the enemies and also assuming do more damage to the boss, because most characters nowadays do have weakened defense. And with that in mind, with the Soul Bomb that we did use with the EX attack, we were able to clear the second attempt with like 47 seconds remaining. I think our goal for today is to try and get 50 seconds. So let's see how it goes for attempt number 2. I guess I want to start off using the SA2, and we kind of have to go downwards to make sure we can take down all the enemies and also still continuously hit the boss. So this is the third boss. I guess we'll use our EX now. Then follow up with the 1. There we go. Soul Bomb here. Into the 2. Then 1. I think it's going to be hard. Maybe, is it possible to get 50? I assume it is. We got a tad bit faster there, 48. I'm not even, actually, I was about to say I'm not going to bother doing the extra stage, but we do need to do that. Just for the sake of the score. But we are slowly but surely getting faster. I think what I'm going to do now after this run is skip until we maybe get the 50. I think we need to get status procs like right away. And also at the same time have Shinsui use his normal attacks consistently. But it does seem like, especially when you have GREMMY 5-5, no need to give the character recharge and full stamina. Give him as much more attack damage as possible, because likely we're going to clear the quest in under 20 seconds. Alright, so I'm going to make this my last run. I've been resetting for like 10 minutes. I've been close to 50, but haven't quite gotten it just yet. Do need to get lucky on the first part. It's really about it. And obviously now with the enemies having more HP, it does make getting that 50-second run a tad bit awkward to a certain extent. Let's go here, SA2. There we go, lovely. So Bomb into the 1. Kind of did it a tad bit too late there, to be fair. The SPB was literally just wore off, but we're still doing some pretty good damage nonetheless. It looks like at the very least, though, consistent 45 seconds remaining. This team can definitely shoot to 50, but it's Christmas Eve. I don't want to be resetting this long for the sake of the video, but we can see 50 seconds is possible, right? But our next run, we are going to remove the Transcendence and see how GREMMY does perform at 1-5, because for the most part, this is going to be a 1-5 team, right? Very easily replicatable if you have the characters. Right now, not everyone's going to have GREMMY Max Transcendent. That's understandable. But GREMMY's kind of that guy, like, even at 2-5, you're likely going to get, like, 40 seconds remaining because he just does so much damage, right? Giselle's Transcendent at this point doesn't matter. Giselle's not here to do any damage. And then Shinsui only 1-5. So let's go quickly ahead and remove our Transcendent slots for GREMMY. And I guess since we are here while we are removing these Transcendent slots, if you've been doing your dailies every single day, our characters are now level 250, which does look quite cool. Now let's go ahead and see how GREMMY performs at level 1 out of 5, special level 1 out of 5, SA1 into the 2. Some leftover mobs, but we are still doing pretty good amount of damage to them. A bit more extra time spent on that first phase, but not too bad. Damage output looked alright. I think we inflicted a status summon before our SPQs wore off. And that unfortunately meant that the enemies themselves, or we couldn't reapply a status summon. Our EX attack didn't one-shot there, but still doing good damage. Let's sub them now. Into the 3. Into the 1. There we go. Looking good. And I guess we just back up. Let's use our 2. Into the 1. Did we get a status proc? Again, the runs are a bit messy now, but it still looks like it's super beatable, right? 26 seconds to go at 1 out of 5 is still really crazy. And to be fair, with GREMMY, you can probably do that by himself. Like, obviously, Shinsui is great to have right now. But at the same time, you could just put on Maid Orihime. You could put on another strong attack unit like Halloween Nini. You could put on 8th Anniversary Ichigo. Or you can just bring a team booster in general. You don't need to have Shinsui in the team. It clearly seems like GREMMY's damage output here is enough to go to all the way through wave 1 to 5 and then also take down the 2 extra levels, which we just seem to do with 10 seconds to spare. But I do want to try that again, just in case we maybe got a bad run, or maybe got a lucky run. But I feel like we spent a bit too much time on some of the waves. I think I just missed the SA1 there. That's unfortunate, but that's what we have Shinsui to come through and do that additional normal attack damage. So, nice to see for the most part. It looks like we actually still one-shot even with our strong attack 3 once all the enemies start to spawn in. The EX attack also did a lot of damage there. This is actually going really good. Let's sob him into the 1. Sob him at 1-5 doesn't seem to one-shot, but it did enough damage. It seems like at this point, it was the power enemy left alive. So, that's another thing to keep in mind too. I feel like power, speed, and technique characters are somewhat of a disadvantage when it comes to Guild Quest content, because at certain points, they are going to have attribute disadvantage against a certain enemy, now that the small mobs have a lot more HP, right? You saw that when we soul bombed, an enemy stayed alive. Heart and Mind characters never have that problem. Not like, to be fair, it matters all that much, unless we are comparing a Heart character to a technique character in the future and their clear scores are very similar. I can't really give any examples right now, but that's something just to keep in mind, right? If I have like a new broken character coming out for like Guild Quest content, maybe preferably I do want them to be a Heart character or Mind character. That way they'll have less of a problem taking down the small mobs that spawn in. But either way, GREMMY's that guy, man. Look at that. Super easy. Both extra level 1 and also 2 done at 1-5. And remember, we do know, because there is space here, in the future, I'm not sure when, and I'm assuming whenever they do add more extra levels, maybe for a certain time, right? You know, prior to this update, during special occasions, more so when new characters came out, there was the limited time Nightmare difficulty. But since Nightmare is now a norm, Nightmare is always available, what I think is going to happen is that instead of getting those limited time Nightmare weeks, we're going to get limited time weeks or phases where there are going to be more than 2 extra levels. Because we know eventually it's going to go up to 5. There is space for that. And whenever they do add more extra levels, there is going to be more rewards. So I assume maybe near the end of the year or go into 2025, that's going to be the limited time extra difficulty to get more rewards and maybe showcase some of those newer characters coming out that want to be used in Guild Quest. And at least for GREMMY, at 1 out of 5 with this team, it might not be able to get to extra level 3, or at least beat it. We definitely could get into extra level 3, but I think depending on how it does go, you're probably just going to be extra level 3. At max transcendence though, considering that we had like 30 seconds to spare, at max transcendence, you're probably going to get to like extra level 4. I don't even know how much HP the extra level 3, 4, and 5 enemies are going to have whenever that does happen, but it's going to take quite the powerful team to actually do that. But either way, that was the video for today. Just checking out GREMMY once more in Guild Quest. He's currently available right now in the 9th anniversary highlight summons, which, by the way, we are going to summon on it tomorrow for Christmas Day. I know the end of year banner is coming up, obviously save for that, but my alt account is going to go all the way to step 6, and I will upload that tomorrow, because my alt account does need to get Kenpachi, it doesn't own him, and I also would love to get duplicates of GREMMY. I said it in my video, if you have enough orbs to summon on this and the end of year, I would definitely recommend it, but let's just wait a few more days. The end of year banner is getting announced in less than 72 hours. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what team and score you guys did get in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.